Good afternoon, students. So, as we have started with chapter 8 and we have started with the elements of designs, and the first one is the color. So we are going through this color only. So let's see, lastly we have discussed about the this color wheel. So what is that color wheel? What are the different combinations of the color that you can get from that color wheel? So now there's another important thing in this color only, that is the value. So what are these values and what are the importance of these? So let's study. So values describes lightness or darkness of a hue. Hue, you all know that basically hue is a color, so which is referred to as tint or shade. So values which describes the lightness or darkness. So according to these values are set according to the lightness and the darkness of the different hues, that is the colors. So the lightness, which one is called the this one tint, or which colors are called the shades, we will come to know now. So white has maximum value while black has the least. Excuse me. So it has been said that the white color, it has the maximum value. So while the black has the least. So gray scale is a particular scale, and value chart is also a chart which describes the different shades of these colors. R11, that is 11 is a digit which is in which this whole thing is distributed, which includes 0 to 10 grade scale for judging values. So it shows 0 for black, 10 for white, and 5 as the mid value for gray or hue. So 5, basically you can see in this scale, the last picture has been given, there is a color shade. So 0 indicates that it shows the black, darkest hue, okay, and the 10 you can see it is almost white, so it is the lightest shade. So and the 5, that is the mid, which is also called hue or the mid value. So when the color goes from black to and it slowly goes to the whiteness, so the values also increases from 0 to 10. You are seeing that the values are increasing, and the left side of the gray or the hue, the mid value is the shade, and the right side is the tint. So tints are basically the lightest shades of the color or a hue, and the shades includes the dark colors or the bright colors of the hue. So now when the hue approaches white, it is a tint. When it approaches black, it is a shade. So grayscale also helps us to judge the equivalent value of any hue. So basically this whole grayscale, it shows the different shades of a particular color or hue, and from darkness to its light color. So this is what we can say about what we learn about this mid values, shades, tints, as well as this grayscale. In this picture you can see the two colors are given, the color shades and the tints. So the shades, you can see it's from 0 to 5, which are also called dark values, and the tints, which is from 10 to or 5 to 10, which is called light values. So these are the color shades and tints. And so now let's see the other descriptions or the other definitions which are given inside this color. So the first thing is the chroma or intensity. So what do we understand by this chroma or intensity? It is the brightest and the purest of color. Dullness results when the color is blended with other color. So when a color, particular color or hue, when it's mixed with the another color, so then dullness appears. It is not the raw color which we call as the hue, but it becomes mixed and the dullness appears. So that is the basically happens when the colors are mixed, specifically with the color opposite to it on the color wheel. So specifically it happens when it is the opposite color in the color wheel, when we take the particular color and the other color is the just opposite of that color in the color wheel. So these are the basically chroma or intensity of a color, that is the brightness as well as the dullness. So most of us now, how to recognize a color? Recognizing a color involves the following steps. Like most of us with normal eyesight are able to distinguish between values and intensities of different hues and give them names. So as suppose a painter, he or she knows that what are the how to recognize a particular color, or how to make different shades of colors from a particular color. So the names are also been given according to the different names, like from the different names of, for example, the brick red, blood red, tomato red, ruby red, carrot red, etc. So as you can see that different names of the colors are given here of a particular color. So color names are derived from the natural sources like the flowers, trees, woods, food, fruits, vegetables, spices, birds, animals, fur, stones and metals. So these are the different things from which the particular this name of a color appears, like this brick red, blood red, tomato red, ruby red, carrot red, this. Or there are also many colors, name of the colors which we get from these different sources. As I was saying that the different the name of the colors are taken from the different sources. So mineral art, pigments, paints, among many others are also included in these sources. So in each group you may be able to see reds and pinks, yellows and orange, purples and violets, blues, greens, browns and greys. So names often have regional flowers. Thus the name of one area may not be mean that the same to the people of another area. So today's world, when there is an international trade in a large number of goods, especially textile products, a system of using numbers along with names has been devised. The Pantone shade card, as you can see, the shade card which is given here, the figure is also given, the Pantone shade card, it shows all possible hues. So from this Pantone shade card you can get the available shades of a particular color. Tints, shades in varying intensities. So each has been given a code number which is recognized internationally. This helps in fashion forecasting and when orders for products are given in foreign lands. So when suppose when your home gets colored and you go to the particular paint shop for choosing the particular color, then they will show this Pantone color shade. So from where in which you can see the different shades of all the colors are given over there. So from there, if you are choosing a particular tint or particular shade of a particular color, then that particular color has got a code number. So every shades or tints of a particular hue has got that code number. So when the painter put that code in the computer, then the computer, according to the combinations of the color given already installed in the computer, it will make the shade of that particular color. So now this is what we can know about this Pantone color shade. So now color in fabric. So how color can be seen in fabrics and from which colors it can be done. So colors can be seen in fabrics in various design forms. We see fabrics which have uniform one solid color, others where the color seems to follow the yarn interlacing, and still others may have colors in any shape. So stages of fabric production when color is added gives a vast range of designs. So there are different shades of colors, or rather there are different stages of fabric production when the colors are added and particular fiber is colored, and when the different fibers are colored and they are added together, or a particular yarn is made from 2 or 3 fibers, then a color combinations comes into that. And when the fabric is constructed, then the color combinations or the mixed color shows when it is put on a fabric. So now we will see that the different process of dyeing of this fabric to put it in different kinds of garments. So now dyeing, as you can see, dyeing is a very rarely done at the fiber stage because it proves to be the most expensive process. So however, it is resorted to for some manufactured fibers which are not easily dyed, or if the design requirement is for a yarn with multicolored fibers. So a particular yarn, when it is multicolored, so then this thing is done, and it is also done very rarely. It is not done in every fabric because it is a very costly process, because each fibers are to be dyed with a particular hue, and then suppose there are three, the yarn is made with three fibers, so the three fibers are to be separately dyed with their particular color, and then they are made into a yarn and then put on a fabric. So it is a very costly process. So this is also a process from which the dyeing can be done. So now next you can see the dyeing done at yarn stage helps to create multifarious designs. So when a yarn which is made with the multicolored fibers, so it also helps to make different kinds of this multicolored fabrics. So woven stripes, checks, plaids, or even simple cambrays are common design produced. So brocade and jacquard patterning, these are the two methods of patterning, or the two patterning processes, designs, which is produced by weaving dyed yarns. So these are the two, note down these two names, brocade and jacquard patterning. So these are the two patternings which can be made with this multifarious designs of the yarns. So when yarns are dyed, it results in beautiful ikat patterns. So ikat pattern you can get from internet. You can search it in internet, that this ikat pattern, it shows different kinds of colors in a combination together. And suppose the kurtis are made generally have these ikat patterns. So this is also an example. So dyeing at fabric stage is the most common method. It may be done to produce simple single colored fabrics and also a design material through tie and batik. So with the help of these two, tie and batik process, so these different kinds of fabrics can be made at the dyeing can be made at this fabric stage of the different fabric production. So now color can also be added at fabric stage by painting, printing, embroidery, and patch or applique work. So these are the different. So now previously in these 3 points you can see there are different processes of dyeing, and now the color can be also added in a particular fabric by help of this painting, printing, embroidery, and patch, as you have also known about this in your class 11. So these are the general process which can also be applied to dye a fabric. So depending upon the requirements of the final product, they decide the stage and technique of the color application. So the cost, the manufacturing cost, all this also involves with all this dyeing process. So as you can see that when the yarns are properly dyed with multifarious colors, so then the cost is also increased, and with the help of this painting, printing, embroidery process, the cost is not that much according to those. So the textile designers need to have a sound knowledge of the dyeing properties of different fibers and fabrics. So depending upon the requirements of the final product, they decide the stage and technique of the color application. So by getting all the requirements and all the necessary details, so the textile designers, they decide that what kind of this dyeing will be involved in this particular thing. So now there are also some other knowledge which you also should have on this particular apparel process. So now color schemes or color harmonies. So what are these color schemes, or also known as color harmonies? What are these? So certain basic color schemes are used as guides or the guidelines for combining colors. So combination of the colors involves these particular involves some particular guidelines which are also known as these color schemes. Color scheme merely suggests the hues that can be combined. So which particular hues can be combined to which, and what color combinations can be done. So this particular thing is suggested by these color schemes. The values and intensities of the hue and the quantities of each to be used are the decisions taken by the designer or the consumer. So color schemes are the best studied with reference to the color wheel. So with the help of the color wheel, this thing is studied. So now what are the different color schemes and how it can be discussed? As you all can see that it has been discussed in two groups. Number one is the related color schemes, and the second one is the contrasting color schemes. So let's move on with this related color schemes. So it involves these four harmonies or schemes. So number one is the monochromatic harmony or the color scheme, and number two is achromatic harmony or color schemes. Number three is ascendant neutral color schemes, and analogous harmony or color schemes. So now what is monochromatic harmony? Monochromatic harmony, which means a harmony based on one hue. This single hue may be varied in values or intensities. So particular single color can be used in this monochromatic harmony. So it can be of different any shade or tint depending on the particular hue. So number 2 is achromatic harmony. So it uses only neutral colors such as the achromatics, such as the combination of black and white. So it involves only the neutral colors. So you can combine the black with the white, and the whole it can be used, any shades of this black and white can be used in this achromatic harmony. So that's why from achromatics the name has been given as the achromatic harmony. So number 3 is the accented neutrals, which are also utilized one hue and a neutral or an achromatic color. So a particular achromatic color or any shade and a neutral color and a hue can be mixed together or combined by forming this accented neutral harmony. And number 4 is analogous harmony, which refers to a color combination using 2 or 3 hues that lie side by side on the color wheel. So on the color wheel, the hues which lie side by side can be used to make this analogous harmony. Use of 4 or more hues may create a jumble unless one is in very small quantity. So if you use more than 3, 4, 5, so it should be of minimum quantity, or otherwise it will create a dullness on the color and jumble whatever has been said here. So now this is all about these related color schemes, and now move on to this contrasting color schemes. So contrasting color schemes have also got this 2 or 3 types. Number 1 is complementary harmony, which refers to a harmony using 2 hues that lie directly opposite to one another. So this is contrasting, also the same, but the color harmony, it involves 2 hues which lies opposite to one another. Okay. And second one is the double complementary color wheel, double complementary harmony, which has 2 pairs of complements, generally neighbors on the color wheel. So it has all this double complementary, it has also got 2 pairs of the colors which complements one another, generally which are the neighbors of the of one another in the color wheel. And the third one is split complementary harmony, which is a 3 color combination utilizing a hue, its complement directly across in the color wheel and a neighbor. So it also involves the 3 color combination utilizing a hue. So one hue is taken and the complement of that hue, that means the opposite of that hue, and as well as the neighbor of that complementary. So it may also use as a hue and 2 neighbors of the complement, same thing is said. So now number 3 is the analogous complementary. So it is a combination of analogous and complementary schemes, a complement selected for dominance in a group of neighboring colors. So analogous complementary is a combination of analogous, means from any kind of color, and from analogous means the color which has been selected in the color from the color wheel, side by side 3 colors. Okay, the neighboring 3 colors. So this is also same as far as this analogous complementary. Now the move on to the third one or fourth one, that is the triadic harmony. So what is this? Triadic harmony is a combination of 3 hues that lie equidistant from one another. Equidistance means what? Suppose you are selecting one, if you can see the color wheel, you can see that suppose you have taken one color. So either you can take the one after that color, and if you select the color after one color, then also the third color will also be in that pattern only. Okay, so this is basically the triadic harmony. So whatever color you choose from the color wheel, you have to choose the next color. It can be the after 2 colors, or it can be after 1 colors also. So this is the triadic harmony. So today we are going to learn about this only. Up to this only, the different colors, or what are the color schemes, harmonies, related contrasting colors, or about color. So this is what we can know about the first element of this design. So moving on to the second one, we will learn about the texture. So what is the texture, what are the types, how it looks, how it behaves or feels. We will know about this in our next class. children go through this. This is a very important chapter and also a very complicated